Alright, so we now continue our examples with depreciation. By how much will a piece of land depreciate over 5 years at 5% if it is valued at 400,000? We do our same setup, of course, but there's a little twist to this question. I hope you realized it. Alright, so let us approach it. So the initial value is 400, and they want to know by how much does it depreciate. So we're going to have to depreciate it first, all right? 1 minus 0.5 raised to the power of 5 years. All right, so cool. We're going to have to depreciate this 400,000 over a period of 5 years. But the question asks, by how much will a piece of land depreciate? So after we find the depreciated value, we need to find the difference between the original value and the depreciated value. So here, the depreciated value is this, which we will find on our calculator. 1 minus 0.05 equal raised to the power of 5 times 400. 400,000, right? 400,000. Good. And the answer is 309,512.37 or 38 because it's a 5 and we round up. 38. Alright, so this is the depreciated value. But they want to know by how much did it depreciate. So to find how much it depreciated by, we must subtract the depreciated value from our original value. 309,512.38. So we're just going to press minus 400,000. And of course, there's a negative here because we did it backwards. But when we're writing the answer, we must neglect the... Let's just do it the right way and done. 400,000 minus 309,512.38. This is equal to 90,000 there we go. Yeah. So this is the difference. When we say difference, we mean subtraction. So this is a difference between the original value and the depreciated value. And this tells us by how much will a piece of land depreciate. So this is the amount by which it depreciates. All right, we're answering this question. By how much will a piece of land depreciate? This is the amount by which it will depreciate. All right, great. Moving on. So, a house is worth 50 million and depreciates at a rate of 5% per annum. What is the value in 4 years, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? This question looks familiar, I'm sure. This question looks familiar. Let's solve the first part. What is the value in 4 years? So because we're depreciating, to find the value in 4 years, it's going to be our regular setup, which is going to be 50 mil multiplied by 1 minus 0.05 raised to the power of what? 4. Put this in our calculator. 1 minus 0.05 raised to the power of 4 times 50 million. 50 million. There we go. So it's going to be 40,725,312.5. All right. So this is the first question. So the second question says, what is the value 5 years ago? So the first one says in 4 years. Next one says 5 years ago. Next one says 10 years ago. So we're at 5 years ago. What is the value 5 years ago? So therefore, if the value is 50 million today, what was the value 5 years ago? That means that our depreciated value is known. In this scenario, our depreciated value is known, because if it asks us for the depreciation, what was the value 5 years ago, that means that the 50 million today is the depreciated value from some figure we don't know. It's a chain of thought that I want you to get. If we want to know the value 5 years ago, in this case, the 50 million would have been the result of depreciation. So we want to find what it was before it depreciated. So we go back in time 50 million, given that we know that the depreciated value is 50. Alright, but we don't know the initial value. Let's call it P. Call the initial value P. So this is our setup. We don't know the depreciated value. No, we know the depreciated value, but we don't know the initial value. That's how we do it when we want to find something 5 years ago. We did an example with appreciation, but as you know, it's literally two sides of the same coin. Alright, it's two sides of the same coin. So you must always watch both videos simultaneously or consecutively. So you understand the differences in both. Yeah. So we do this minus 0.05 raised to the power of 5 because it's 5 years ago. Something depreciated to 50 over a period of 5 years. This is how we convert the language to numbers. I'm teaching you how to analyze these things. 5 years ago, this is the depreciated value. Something depreciated to this. And this is how we represent it. That thing depreciated via this to this. This is a very important concept in understanding the words and converting it to numbers. Now we will proceed with finding this portion and let P be the subject. So we're going to say 1 minus 0.05 raised to the power of 5. So it's going to be P multiplied by 0.773789. Let's just leave it there. 0.97. Divide both sides by it. And of course, we don't round in the middle of a question. It will kind of mess up our calculation at the end. But if you must round, it's okay, just round. But it's something I don't like to practice because I like my numbers accurate, especially when doing consumer arithmetic. We need our numbers to be accurate, especially with these big numbers. So now this and this cancel, and P is equal to the quotient of this. Divide 50 million. Divide 50 million by 0.77378937. Is that correct? Is that correct? I think so. And the result, the initial value. So 5 years ago, the value of the house was 64,617,777. Is that it? No, 771.79. Alright, so because you know it's depreciating, if it's $50 million today, 5 years ago, it must be higher if it's a depreciating asset. If it's $50 million today, it must be higher 5 years ago because it's a depreciating asset. If it was an appreciating asset, then 5 years ago, it would have been less. But since it's a depreciating asset, 5 years ago, it has to be more. And we end it here. I'll ask you to attempt this question, of course. All you need to do is change 5 here to 10 and then do exactly what I did here. And you should get, let me just do it real quick. Yeah, so your answer should be $83,509,128.51. All right, so you're working towards this number for this last one. All right. I strongly believe in your capabilities. You can do this. That's J2T. I'll see you in the next episode.